All right, so if you live here in Carbondale and you're looking to build a better, happier relationship with your dog, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down how to find a fantastic dog trainer who really gets what it's like to live in our town. I mean, just imagine it for a second. You're walking downtown, maybe headed to Prairie Lights, and your dog is just trotting calmly right beside you, not pulling, not barking at people, just enjoying the walk with you. That's not some far-off dream. That's totally achievable with the right training, right here in Carbondale. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at what makes training in Carbondale a little different. Then we'll help you figure out what your specific dog needs. After that, we'll get into how you find a qualified pro, what you absolutely need to ask them, and finally, some great spots around town to practice all your new skills. Okay, let's start with our first section, training for Carbondale life. You might not think about it much, but where you live really does play a huge role in what your dog needs to learn to be a happy, confident companion. Yeah, this pretty much sums up our daily reality, doesn't it? A well-adjusted dog here needs to be cool with the buzz of the SIU campus, stay focused while you're walking downtown, and not lose its mind whether it sees a deer on a trail at Crab Orchard or a bunch of students zipping by. It's all about building that confidence for these real-life scenarios. And that brings us right to our second section, which is all about figuring out what your dog actually needs from you. This is where we get specific and start setting some clear goals. Seriously, take a second and really think about this. What is the number one thing you wish was different? Is it the leash pulling, the jumping, something else? Just getting clear on that one goal is a huge first step. And whatever you're dealing with, I promise you are not alone. These are the most common things people want to work on, from pulling on the leash around Campus Lake to wanting a dog that actually comes back when you call them at the park. Just see if your goal is up on this list. So, once you have your goal, you can pick the right way to tackle it. For instance, private lessons are amazing for things that happen right in your house, like going bonkers when the doorbell rings. Group classes, though, are perfect for practicing focus when there are other dogs and people around to distract you. So you know what you need to work on. Now for the really big one, Section 3, finding a qualified trainer who can help you get there. This is a step you definitely want to get right. You know, this quote just boils it all down perfectly. There are two things to look for. One, the training method has to be positive. And two, the plan has to actually work for your real life here. A good trainer gets that and builds the whole program around it. So what even is positive reinforcement? It's really simple. It just means you're rewarding your dog for getting it right. With treats, with praise, with a toy. This isn't just about teaching sit or stay. It's about building a solid, trusting bond with your dog, which is what it's all about, right? Okay, now you might see a whole alphabet soup of letters after a trainer's name. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just think of these certifications as a good sign. It means that trainer has put in the time and money to get educated, and they're serious about following professional, humane standards. It shows they're dedicated. All right, moving on to Section 4. You found a couple of trainers that look promising. Now it's time to get practical and ask some really important questions before you hand over any money. First up, let's talk about the investment. Here's a look at the typical costs for training services around our area. A group class for a few weeks might be in that $140 to $280 range, while a one-on-one private lesson is often somewhere between $100 and $175. This should give you a realistic idea of what to budget for. And here is your cheat sheet. Before you hire anybody, please make sure you ask these questions. You need to know their methods, how the plan is going to be customized for your dog, and what the final cost is going to be. And that last one is so important, asking what you need to be practicing between lessons, because really, your involvement is what makes it all work. This leads us right into our final section, practice around town. Because the training doesn't stop when the lesson is over. The real magic happens out in the world. Now, before we talk about where to practice, it's really helpful to keep this in mind, especially if you have a new dog. It's called the 3-3-3 rule, and it just helps you set realistic expectations. It takes time for a dog to settle in and feel safe. A good training plan respects that, so be patient with your dog, and with yourself too. Okay, now it's time to take all those skills you're learning and actually use them. This is a perfect little roadmap. You can head to the Carbondale Dog Park to work on coming when called, or use the Campus Lake Trail to practice polite leash walking near joggers and bikes. Each place gives you a new, unique challenge to help strengthen your dog's skills. So, after going through all of this, from figuring out your goals to finding a pro and knowing exactly where to practice, really the only question left to ask is this one. Are you ready to get started and build that better partnership with your dog? Having a well-trained dog isn't about having a perfect robot. It's about having a true partner. It just makes every single part of life in Carbondale that much better, from just chilling at home to getting out and exploring all the beautiful parks and neighborhoods we have. I wish you the absolute best on your training journey together.